We're returning to the 1989-90 hoops for this video. If you saw my video about the David Robinson rookie card, you'll have to forgive me, a lot of this will be a repeat, but this set really doesn't get the credit it deserves. Now, I might be saying that because many people my age, this is where we started collecting. This 89-90 hoops packs, very cheap, could grab a lot of them, and a lot of cards to get. 353 in total when it was all said and done. So I might be a little bit biased, but I think it's a much more important set than people realize. You know, just because something isn't rare, it doesn't mean it's not important. This set came out in late October of 1989, and as we all know, it was the start of all those piles of, quote, junk wax hoops cards from the early 90s that many of us had laying around. But really, popular, huge set when it was released. In that David Robinson video, the rookie card video, I talk about an old Pittsburgh Post-Gazette article. The set made the news. People were having trouble finding packs. The set itself was approaching $100 in value if you could complete it. People wanted that David Robinson rookie. And the fact that you could see the top card through the packs, that kind of helped the momentum too. You know, collectors were memorizing the order. They were chasing that rookie card. There were even counterfeits of that David Robinson rookie going around at the time. Now, PSA mentions that the Pistons championship card was also being chased. And I do believe the first version of that, with the players on it, was a short print. But it was really the Robinson rookie that drove the craze. So, the explosion in production does limit the value of this set, but the set was responsible for bringing a popularity and a momentum to basketball card collecting that just wasn't there before. The design is real classic and simple. Hoops didn't stray far from this 1989-90 design in the future. Minimal colors. The border represents a basketball court key, but the reverse of the card, the base cards that is, for the first time, you had a full color image of the player and the team logo. So see, these are subtle but classy differences. The first set, the first series, cards 1 through 300, consisted of all-stars, regular players, and again, for the first time in a base set in basketball card history, coaches. So really, it's a lot of firsts for this set. They were trying everything. They were trying to cover all the bases. It was also the first time in a basketball card set that you had a second series. We view this as an update. It's just 53 cards released in January of 1990. But this was so important. It gave Hoops all kinds of flexibility to cover a lot of ground with this set. Now they had to replace, from the printing plates, 52 cards from Series 1, so they became short prints. But with this 53 card update, Series 2, Hoops could include updates on expansion teams like the Orlando Magic and the Timberwolves, and traded players. In fact, you know you have a Series 2 pack. If you look at the lower right-hand corner, there's a yellow statement that says, look for Orlando and Minnesota expansion team plus trades. That's how you know. It also allowed them to correct some errors from Series 1, and they have flexibility to do other things. In Series 2, they made sure to get an action shot of rookie David Robinson. So it's another important card from the set. And the 353 card total, that was huge at the time. I mean, collectors were used to, a lot of the sets before had like 132. This is about triple to what collectors were used to. And the number allowed them, I mean, there were 381 players in that season. And Hoops, I mean, you know, the 353 cards, they could almost have a card of every single player. You know, why mention all of this? I'm just trying to stress that this 89.90 hoops, you have these early signs that these companies competing with each other very shortly in the future would try to cover all aspects of the NBA season in their basketball card sets. It was this race to be comprehensive. You know, next year, Hoops had 440 cards. The year after that, 590. That same year, the 91-92 Skybox, 659. So this set, you really just see a shift in the hobby. It shouldn't be overlooked. So going to this card specifically, this is the number 21 Michael Jordan All-Star. Now, like we said before, that first series, cards 1 through 300, it consisted of All-Stars, regular players, and for the first time, coaches. But here's the thing. These weren't grouped logically, and I think it's a detriment to the set. They were scattered all over the place. They weren't grouped by team. They weren't grouped by subset. The All-Stars weren't together. For example, this number 21 Michael Jordan All-Star card is preceded by a regular Rolando Blackman card, and then it was followed by Cliff Levingston. They weren't All-Star cards. They weren't even fellow Chicago Bulls. So this meant that, I guess when you were opening packs and collecting the set, there was an element of surprise if you were building. I mean, like, you'd stumble on Karl Malone as card number 30. Then you're looking for the Michael Jordan base card. That's not even till number 200. But it means that the set as a whole, at least to me, is quite chaotic. The All-Star cards, they incorporated these stars around the border, and you had the logo from the Houston All-Star game up there in the left of the arch. Jordan in the East, they lost this particular All-Star game in Houston. The West one, that was 143 to 139. Now, on the back of this card, though, I think it's nice that you get to see full All-Star statistics for these players. They kept the focus of the reverse of this card really on All-Star related information and trivia. I mean, it's worth reading through just verbatim what's here. Jordan was voted the All-Star Game MVP in 1988. Obviously, look at the points column. You hit 1988, 40 points. It says here on the card that was the second highest total in All-Star history. Clear MVP there. Slam dunk titles, 1987 and 1988. Holds mark for highest All-Star scoring average. I think that's impressive. Think about this. He had the highest scoring average. Look at that first All-Star game. 7 points. Even with a low number like that, he's still holding the title, the highest All-Star scoring average at the time the card was printed. I think that's neat. The leading vote getter in balloting for 1989 starters, probably be obvious. The NBA's MVP in 1988. So see, now we're straying from the All-Star game information a little bit. He won the last 3 NBA scoring titles, and a starter in 4 All-Star games, missed the 1986 contest due to injury. You can see that in the statistics there. So it's good that they address that, just in case someone without that knowledge would think he wasn't voted in. There's one more real important thing. This video is going long, but one more real important thing to discuss about this All-Star card. See, most resources say that this set doesn't have any insert cards, the 1989-90 hoops. It's more complicated than that. And for those that really dig, this Michael Jordan number 21, along with other All-Star cards, do have a variation. They also exist in these 4 panels of 6 cards that were inserted into programs during All-Star Weekend. They had they were handing out these programs, and my understanding is there was a different panel in different programs depending on what entrance that you went in. So if you see perforated versions of these cards, or even the full panels themselves, you'll know that that's where they come from. Okay, I'll get going, but I did think that was a very important piece of information. And I hope you enjoyed this return to the 1989-90 hoops. I know it's an important set, even though monetarily it's not that valuable, but a lot of us have a connection to it. It's kind of where we started. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.